Oh, student, class 10. Now listen. Yesterday, in last video, we have done chapter. We have done H. Now let us do 9. I am. In I, what we are seeing, you see. I am compared to the my let's learn language. Relative clause. What is a relative clause? What is a relative clause? The relative clause you see here. A relative clause. A relative clause is a type of dependent clause that provide additional information about a noun in a sentence. It typically begins with the relative pronoun like okay, who, whom, whose, which, that. These are type of pronoun indicating something particular within or something which is a relative adverb where, when, why. So you see for example the book. The book that I am borrowed from the library was fascinating. The book that I am borrowed that I have borrowed from the library was fascinating. This is the relative. This is a part of a clause means a part of a sentence. Clause means a part of a sentence. She is the person. She is the person who. Who is the relative pronoun. And this is relative clause who helped me with my project. This is part of a sentence. This is the restaurant. Restaurant where? Where is the what type of? It is relative adverb. Where we had dinner last night. The relative clause help making sentence more descriptive and informative. Want to dive deeper into how they work. Okay, this is relative. Okay, ଆମେ ଏବେ କରିବା relative clause ର question answer କରିବା. କଣ କରିବା relative clause ର question answer? देखो non definite relative clause कौन? देखो पढ़िबा relative clause. Look at the following sentence. Throughout the morning, Lico, who knew his field immediately, looked at the sky. Then the sentence may also be written as all morning Licho, who knew his field immediately, looked at the sky. The underlying part of the sentence provided us more information about Linku and the woman. We call it a relative clause. Mark that they begin with a relative pronoun who. Common relative pronouns are whom, which, that, whose. The relative clause in the above sentence is called non-definite relative clause because the who is not because we already know the identity of a person described. We don't need the information in the relative clause to pick the person out of the last set. The non-definite relative clause. What is non-definite relative clause? Let us see. Non-defining relative clause usually have a comma preceding and following it. Some writers use a dash instead as in the story. If the relative clause comes at the end, we just put a full stop. Clear? Just the pair of sentences given below using the relative pronoun. It is a relative pronouns conjugation. My mother is going to host a TV show on cooking. She cooks very well. She cooks very well. Our institution is highly popular. It works for public welfare. It Sati scored a goal in the last minute. He was fortunate. Mother Teresa is reversed as a saint. She served mankind. She served mankind. Pronoun, relative pronoun. I often go to Mumbai. Mumbai is the commercial capital of India. So I often go to Mumbai. This person are going to meet the president. Their performance has been excellent. Sometimes the relative pronoun is relative clause remaining hidden. For example, look at the first sentence of the story. First sentence of the story. The horse, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of the low hill. We can rewrite this sentence as without any change in the meaning. ये जो sentence है meaning कौची हमें बस same चीज जिनसे लिखी है but can change करी लेकिन again लिखी है related clauses के अंदर clause के अंदर the house which was the only one in the entire valley. Which one is the only? It is the only one in the entire valley. तो एक लिख लो which was the only set on the crest of the low hill. In original sentence, the text A relative pronoun which and the verb was not present in hidden. It is hidden ଥିଲା ସେଇ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ଲେଖିଲା ପରେ ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ so this became the relative clause. So this is the part of sentence which give just clarity about the sentence but the meaning is not changed. Okay. Usually negative for emphasis. Negative emphasis ତୁମେ ଯିବନି ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ପଚାରୁଛୁ ତୁମେ ଯିବନି କି ତ ତୁମେ ଯିବନି କି ମାନେ ପଚାରୁଛୁ ତୁମେ ଯିବ କି ନାହିଁ ମାନେ ତୁମେ ଯିବା ଦରକାର ହେଲା. We know that sentence with words such as no, not or nothing show the absence of something or contradict something. For example, from the text, this year we will have no corn. The corn has failed. The hail had left nothing absent of crops. Nothing absent of crops. So these are not raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. Contradict the common idea of what the drops of water falling from the sky are. But sometimes negative words are used to emphasize an idea. Look at this sentence from the story. Linku had done nothing else but see the sky toward the northeast. He had done only this. Nothing else, only this. No? The man went out for no other reason than to have a pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. He had only this reason. Linku saw not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. She saw no surprise at all. So back at the look back at the example C. Mark the contradiction in the facts serve to emphasize the value or usefulness of the rain to the farmer. Find the sentence in the story with negative word which express the following idea. In particular, the tree lost all their leaves. Okay. The letter was addressed to God himself. The postman saw this address for the first time in his life. Let's write. तो देखो एटा कोटे read the newspaper report given below. Note the information given at the different points. रथयात्रा food in lakhs of devoted to Puri. एटा होची टाइटल. एटा कोट आसी ए जो न्यूज़ टा द टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया सोर्स को डेट ऑफ प्लेस Puri June 22. All the road led to Puri on Thursday as lacks topic of sentence, topic of introduction. It devoted of kings in the town to participate in the Grand Rath Yatra festival. You wave of euphoria. sweep across the bridge town with the regaining British commencing their 9-day naval outing for Jagannath sign to Gundicha temple in the Bioster's procession. However, the threat of possible terror attack and the date of two pilgrims. It all upon detail of Rathatra Satellite information of terror. It was information possible terror attack the date of two pilgrims alleged in a storm cast shadow on the festival. This was the intelligence report that some survived group might create trouble during Rath Yatra. Security was tightened compared to the previous year. The GDP said he also appealed to the people to remain the GDP. G, DGP added authorities. ये सब कथा में जेमती लिखिले imagine now that you are the reporter of Indian Express. You have received a news about the recent cyclone that hit Odisha. Using the guideline given in the box above, complete a similar report to the newspaper. तुमको पूरे newspaper लिखिବାର ଅଛି ହେଲା लिखला ପରେ ଏଇ chapter ସରିଲା ତାପରେ we will go to year 7 ଦେଖ ଏଠି କଣ କରିବ ତୁମେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଦେଖ ଦେଖ କଣ କରିବ ଏଠି ଦେଖ ଏମିତି ଲେଖିବ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ତୁମେ କୋଉ newspaper ଇଏ Syndicate, the super cycle during the unthinkable tragedy Indian Express topic ହେଲା title ଏଟା date ରେ ହେଲା super cycle ବିଷୟରେ introduction story ହେଲା ତାପରେ ତୁମେ କଣ କରୁଛ ସେଇଟା ମଧ୍ୟ ଏଠି ଦେଖା ହବ ହେଲା like this you can do enter question answer thank you have a nice day तो आज ये chapter पूरा सरला तो next class ରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଏ ଯୋଉ solitary reaper କରିବା thank you have a nice day